Let's go. Hello and welcome to Round 7 coverage of Grand Prix Rotterdam. I'm Brad David Marshall. I'm joined in the booth by Matej Zadelkai. You have time to say hi now.
Hello.
And we are underway immediately here in Round 7 with a pair of teams at 5-1. On your right, a super team of Andrei Strasky, Paulo Vitor Damadurosa, and Shahar Shenhar, world champion, a Hall of Famer, and really one of the brightest young stars on the Pro Tour in Strasky.
Yeah.
Against a team coming back for the, one of the great things about team events is people coming back to play Magic. Victor Vandenbroek is someone who's been playing the game for a long time.
Forever. And I love to see, and I also, Danny DeRoy is also a name that I've seen in the past, and I think I've been playing with these guys like 10 years ago, and I just love when they come out to these local GPs.
And especially the excitement to come out for a team GP.
Yeah, definitely.
So Jeroen Remy here earlier.
Yeah.
So, you seeing a lot of old faces.
Yeah, the Cornelissen brothers. It's great. I actually, at 6-0 as a Czech team of like old school guys that I've been known ever since I started playing Magic, and they're just here to have fun. And they're doing really well at 6-0 as well, on
awesome.
table 1 right now.
So here we see a Seed Sculptor and a...
Ooh.
Look at this, trying to bounce Thriving Rats. But Danny DeRoy has Blossoming Defenses hidden behind his prism there.
Yeah, that was really well hidden. I wonder if Andre actually expected that. I don't think it's a bad trade per se, but
right.
It's still fairly decent. Kind of unexpected. I love the lands from Danny. 3 different colors of mana, and still a Prophetic Prism to work with, so he can definitely add something to board. And now the Seed Sculptor facing off like a Filigree Familiar there. Look, he's using the Prophetic Prism because he needs to cast the Brazen Scourge.
And gets in with that in the Kujar Seed Sculptor. So making good use, not just a card draw in his deck, it's smoothing his mana.
Yeah, and we talked about this before, that the blue-green-red is the usual blue-green base and a red splash, but it looks like Danny has different plans. It looks like a red-green deck maybe with the blue splash. Based on the card he has played so far. And here comes our favorite card of the weekend, Oval Chase Daredevil. Making an appearance yet again. It's been super solid so far. Not even the Malfunction was helping keep them down when once the players found a way to destroy them anyway. So let's see what Danny can muster up with his forces here.
Yeah, the card is really shining this weekend.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. 4 mana.
Woodland Wanderer?
Yeah, yes it is.
Actually, well, we're joking about this a little bit, but I think Woodland Wanderer is actually a legitimate archetype in Team Sealed. The Wanderer into Core Prowler or into other 6 mana bombs, especially if you're across 3 colors. I've seen plenty of Wild Wanderer. Yeah, you're right. Wild Wanderer. And I've seen it plenty of times being like built in decks where you play it on turn 4 and then on turn 6 you just play bomb. Your Gear Hulks, your Core Prowlers,
and the ability to also splash some cards that maybe don't
exactly.
fit into the decks. We talked about the idea that sometimes the synergy of your deck doesn't let you play a bomb in the color of your deck, and well, I'll play it.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen some cool things being done with it. All right, what's the play for Andrei Strasky here? Okay, he takes it to the air with a Snare Topter, starts being a little more aggressive there, while holding the ground with his 2 big creatures. Let's see if Danny has something to answer, because he's down to 2 cards. He got the nice trade early, but hasn't been able to capitalize that much.
I starts to think, he's like, maybe I would have liked to have traded for something bigger.
Yeah, I think he has a Confiscation Coup in hand. And he has 5 mana.
And he has 2 blue, even though it doesn't necessarily look like that.
Yeah, he can. He definitely he'll go for it.
There we go.
I wonder if he's.
What do you steal?
He's offering up the Daredevil, and he's going to go for that one. He could have gone for the Filigree Familiar to get some value, but at least this makes sure that he can safely attack with his Scourge and his Seed Sculptor into the Filigree Familiar.
Is the Wild Wanderer going to get in there too?
That's the question. I don't think Danny wants to, just because then Andre blocks for sure.
Then Andre gets to make the decision about what he wants to do.
Yeah. Yep, so he went in with the Wanderer as well.
Victor Vandenberg, by the way, just talking about, not about Danny, but also a former member of team coverage.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he used to do some text coverage.
Oh,
back when that was just coverage.
Yeah. Back when there was no video.
There was always video on Sunday. But
yes, true.
Yeah, if you look through the archives, you'll find some bylines for Victor Vandenberg.
Yeah, well. No, a super nice guy as well. Like,
Yeah.
I've really gotten along with Victor. He's just a nice player. And yeah, Danny, his sidekick. Let's see what Andre Strasky, though, the new kid on the block, when Victor was writing articles for event coverage, Andre was just, sucking on his finger, I assume.
I mean,
It's
he
been a long
he
time.
might have gotten past that, but
Yeah, sure.
But 1 GP top 8 for Andre, but 2 Pro Tour top 8s.
Yeah, a very exclusive club of players who have more PT top 8s than GP top 8s. I used to be in that club for a very long time. It's not a nice place to be. Then people just think, oh, you just got lucky during 2 PTs, and you just play bad during GPs.
Well, you still haven't answered my question.
Which one?
Okay. All right, here's the Eager Construct.
A card that I heard Petr Suchurek describe as unplayable.
Wow, I've heard a number of people. There are a number of people who have very strong negative opinions about that card.
Yeah, but I think it still fills a niche spot in a lot of decks. And while you might not like the ability, as a 2/2 for 2, it's still sometimes necessary. Where you need an artifact, you need some early blockers.
Yeah. Fills your curve.
Exactly,
It supplies synergy.
Yeah. And this format is more about synergy rather than pure card power.
You see Repair and Tiger lurking in the weeds there.
Yeah, Scries to the bottom as well. Let's see. Oh, Master Trinketer.
Ooh.
That's a good rare. So he can pop up his servers and Topters. None of those just yet. Or is the...
But he has a Snare Thopter.
It's a Thopter, right? I think it's a...
Yeah.
So it's going to pump it up?
Yeah.
It's a 4/3?
Yeah.
Wow. Awesome. But I'm sure his construct is not a servo or Thopter.
No.
It's construct.
But for 4 mana, he can make
Yeah, of course.
a servo.
That's a sweet card. It's a 3 and a 3/2 also. The base numbers are nice. So, like, Master Trinket is a very good card.
Yeah. He has excellent driving skills as a 3/2.
Indeed. No, I like his synergy with, some other cards that create just lots of servos. With we saw Merited Master being very good this weekend already. But even something like Visionary Augmenter or Servo Exhibition can really improve the power level. And now Andre was thinking a long time. Now Danny also has to think quite strong, because Andre put up some very good defenses, and if Danny has the follow up, it looks like he's just swinging with his bigger creatures there. And the Trinketer's combo with the Oval Chase Daredevil.
Yeah. Every time he makes a servo, he's able to get the Oval Chase Daredevil back from his yard.
He's going to take 3 here, though. Go down to 9. What's coming? Is that? I think it's going to be the Tiger.
Yeah, this is going to be the Tiger. Get some energy.
I think he has an Imperial Voyager in his hand. Not the best on this board, and that's his last card in his hand. Now let's see if Andre has some good power to not only stabilize the board, but try to maybe win the game in a few turns.
Looked like he only had a Swamp in his hand as he drew for the turn.
He had one more card. Now he
Okay.
drew a new card as well. So he will play all the lands he can get his hands on. That's for sure.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Would not mind getting to 8, if he lived that long. Oh, finds an essence extraction.
Yeah, just a little short of killing the Riparian Tiger. But he can take out the Brazen Scourge and jump back to 12 life.
Yeah, it gets to go to 12.
That's nice. And he can. He's leaving up 4 mana, so he can definitely make a Thopter. Make a Servo, bring back the Daredevil. Maybe double block. If he really wanted to get rid of the Tiger. But I think he'll probably
just take it this turn.
He'll take 1 hit this turn.
And then hope that there's no more energy in the wings here.
Yeah, the good thing for Andre is that at this point, he doesn't really mind drawing lands or spells because he has a Master Trinketer, so he wants to get up to 8 lands to make 2 servos a turn. And if he draws a spell, like a removal spell, he certainly won't mind.
And at 8 mana, he also has that ability to make a servo and replay a Daredevil, which he can get into the
and he took
into combat.
He took the 6 here. There's the Voyager and an Arnhem Cobra.
Oh, wow.
Expanding his board, but now he's slowly will lose track of the control of the board with that Master Trinketer pumping out guys. Old Chase Daredevil is still big threat. It trades so well. And even if now Andre doesn't have the 8th land, as we talked about, it's very likely that he'll have a cheap card, so he can make the Daredevil and play something else. Even though I think he has an Aetherborn Marauder in his hand.
That's what it looks like he drew. Yeah, absolutely.
And
5
like
drop.
one more card though. I think it's black, but I don't quite get to see what it was. I don't know. Is it a masterpiece?
Oh my gosh, that might be a masterpiece.
Let's see if we have. Oh, we have deck lists. I think it is a Sword of Light and Shadow.
Oh my gosh.
he does have a Sword of Light and Shadow in his deck. How? Yeah, little kid luck, right? Jeez.
I mean, it's more than luck. It's also the power of persuasion to let him put it in his deck.
Of course. So that's a 3-mana artifact. He can equip for 2. And creature gets protection for white and black. Ironically, the only 2 colors that Danny's not running. And then if it deals damage, you can gain through life and return a creature from your graveyard.
So he plays an Aetherborn Marauder and then obviously makes the servo because he gets an extra point of toughness and power out of that, thanks to the Master Trinketer.
Yeah. See what Danny can do, because the Tiger is a certain no slouch. It's still a 4/4 trample. If he finds a way to generate energy, it's still a very valid threat that needs to be answered.
No, Danny just says go.
Jeez.
Passes the turn.
It's rough. I'll take a quick peek at his deck list about what he's doing here. Red, green, blue.
Okay. There is the Sword of Light and Shadow. It hits the battlefield. Great sportsmanship by Danny DeRoy there. High fives his opponent on getting a masterpiece. That's fantastic.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, good job, Andre.
Equips it to the Snarethopter. And he reads the sword.
That's the kind of sportsmanship I like to see. Yeah, so now a 4/3 Snarethopter because of the Master Trinketer, and a +2/+2.
6/5.
6/5. Gain 3 life, bring something back.
Yep. Brings back the Filigree Familiar. Has the land, plays the land, gains 2 more life.
Yeah, he was slow rolling it. I love it. And Denny just has more lands.
Wow, and look at that. Yep. Andre Strasky was under the gun there, but he fought it off with the Sword of Light and Shadow.
That was great. And look at the scores. Paolo Vitor Damares is also up a game against Victor van der Broek.
And Shahar Shenhar and Emil Landman still in game one. I think that's probably where we'll go. Okay, actually, we're gonna go Paulo's in the middle of game two here.
Yeah,
Against
and
Victor
you see why, because again the two red aggressive decks are all fighting to get quickly out of blocks.
There's an Aetherborn Rock, Aether Storm Rock, facing down against Voltaic Brawler, Pima Outrider, a Servo. There's something under a with its privileges revoked. It looks like it might be a Salivating Gremlin.
Could be. Yeah, hard to read. We only get so little. No, it looks like the game one had to be very fast, and they're in a very advanced stage of game two.
2 energy in pool here for Paulo.
Yeah, has the Brawler as well.
Yep, attacks with the Brawler and the Pima Outrider. Victor's down to 9 here, so.
Yeah, and you can see why Paulo has a Spontaneous Artist in his graveyard as well. So, with an early Voltaic Brawler, maybe he would just keep he kept putting on the pressure. But Paulo's down to 12 himself, so still very much a game here. Risky double block.
Yep, puts them both in front of the Voltaic Brawler, which is a 4/3. Currently can only kill one of those creatures. Paulo decides to just kill the put the Salivating Gremlin first, kill that. But that's because he wants to play a Repairing Tiger this turn. He's got land in his hand, and oh, no, better than that. He wants to play a Cultivator of Blades.
And you know, the funny thing is, Paulo has 2. they have 2 Cultivator of Blades.
So they're going with like a sword theme for their team?
I think so, yeah.
How do you not give the Sword of Light and Shadow to the Cultivator of Blades deck? I don't understand this.
Yeah, just check. He does have 2. This is the fun part, because they put Andrei Strusky with the Sword of Light and Shadow. This guy, Paulo, has a red-green deck with double Cultivator of Blades and everything good stuff. And there's still Shahar with the double Depala, double Veteran Mortars deck. Who's still in game
So
one.
he's got the sword, he's got the blades, and Shahar got the daggers.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's, oh wow, another Revoked Privileges. Victor's deck is not without its resources.
Yeah, he still has the Aether Storm Rock.
And he's got goggles on his Eager Construct. So now Repairing Tiger comes down, and that must be dealt with.
Yeah, Victor's down to 6 already, so doesn't have that many creatures, and a 4 for the Repairing Tiger that can grow to 6/6. It's certainly very threatening. Lack of symmetry really disrupts me there. Like the way the Revoked Privilege on the creature, one you see the name, the other just the cards. Come on, Paulo, get your game together.
See the players, I think, talking a little bit to the teammates, trying to figure out what's going on. What could he have?
I wonder.
All right. Victor moves the goggles over. Nope.
No.
Doesn't move his goggles.
You can see it's a hard decision for him.
Puts the goggles there and attacks.
Okay, did he forget to get energy?
He could have gotten energy first.
Yeah. Then
When he plays his creature.
Yeah. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under control. Yeah. He could have first played the creature, but he wanted to attack with the goggles.
Yes.
Goggle creature, and then have the artisan get it for free. So it makes sense. Yeah, he has three energy now.
Everybody attacks from Paulo. 2 tramplers, 3 servos. How much can he absorb here?
Yeah, he can definitely block the 3 through the 2 for it, and that's what he's lining up. And then block there, and is that did he use energy on something?
Oh, he only had 1 energy? Oh no.
No.
He
Okay.
did.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and it doesn't. And I have this.
Yeah. So 2-0.
Wow. Paulo's deck looks great.
Yeah. Oh, look, it was the Thriving Grubs. I thought it was. I thought it was that.
Yeah, I just couldn't read the numbers on it.
Yeah. Weight's tiny.
So Paulo Vitor Damarosa takes the first. Let's just call it a set. I hate saying match twice.
Sure.
So 2 games, wins the set, and then we're going back to our first match, which is Andre Strosky and Danny DeRoy.
And Danny has an incendiary sabotage in his hand, so this game could be interesting. You don't get to see the card often, but in Team Sealed, you're much more likely to put together a deck that can take full advantage of it.
Or even better yet, maybe able to find yourself against a deck where you're able to side it in and have it be excellent.
Yeah.
So there's an Eager Construct.
Yeah. Danny kept the land on top. He really feels like he needs it.
And there we see a Voltaic Brawler. Card that looked so good for Paulo Vitor Damarosa on the other side of the table.
Yeah. Thankfully, they're forcing Danny to put the creatures in front. If Paulo could learn it, then you can teach it to anyone.
Paulo probably pointed it out.
Yeah. Ooh, there's a Dang. There's a Blossoming Defense.
Yeah, Die Young.
No, you don't. You don't get any energy.
Gets countered.
That was very nice. Oh, a Seed Sculptor as well. But no 4th land, I don't think, for Danny. He might just try to go heavy on the Brawler.
Yeah, put Kujar Seed Sculptor, put a counter on the Brawler, get in for 5.
Maybe just get in for 4, because as long as...
and then just make a 2/3 Seed Sculptor?
Yeah. Or maybe just play a Seed Sculptor, put the counter on, just not use the energy this turn, but use it the following turn.
Sure.
Just to make sure, like, now, if it's a 4/3 from 3/2 with a counter, the Eager Construct can only chump block. But if he takes the damage, the 4 there, the following turn, if he puts Trample on it, he might also be able to kill 2 creatures with it.
Sure.
Force the double block, basically. But then the other side of the thing is that if he will only be left with a 1/2 Seed Sculptor, which is a little worse. So there's merit to both approaches here. I think Danny also has a Confiscation Coup in his hand. I think I saw a Self-Assembler, so he really needs to start drawing his lands.
Those things are far, far away.
Yeah.
Okay, attacks with Voltaic Brawler, uses an energy, makes it a 4/3. Do it again next turn. Now plays the Seed Sculptor.
Makes it 2/3.
Yeah, it makes 2/3. That's great.
Yeah. Instead of having one better creature, he has 2 good ones.
And there he is, the official mascot of Grand Prix Rotterdam, Oval Chase Daredevil.
Again, that guy.
There's the 4th land for Danny DeRoy. Still needs a 2nd red for Sabotage. Still needs 2 blue for his Confiscation.
Yeah. And, for the Incendiary Sabotage, he also
needs an artifact.
Needs an artifact first. So his best choice is probably
Prophetic Prism
or Mountain. So he can play Self-Assembler and then at least have Incendiary Sabotage as a backup.
So he passes the turn with no play. Gets the 4, but can't do anything.
At least Sabotage has potential to be really good against the deck of Andre. So it looked like his deck was really a lot of low toughness creatures.
5th land for Strosky. Maulfist Squad comes down. Makes a servo. There's the 5th land for DeRoy. He gets a Self-Assembler. He's going to go dig up another Self-Assembler.
Yeah, 2 good draws for Danny there. They really wanted those lands.
Still a little constrained as far as color. Still only has the 1 red, doesn't have any access to blue. And Oval Chase Daredevil comes on in.
No fear.
Yep, Seed Sculptor trades. Oh, look at
Ooh,
this.
Nice.
This is a great sequence. Whisperweaver Angel flickers the Malphite squad, gets another token, gets the Oval Chase Daredevil back into his hand.
Yeah, also finally plays a creature with enough toughness to survive the sabotage in case it would come to that. Yeah, he does have the mountain there, so I smell a plan,
Still got to deal with that Angel.
of course. No more assemblers.
More self-assemblers required.
Looks that way.
Okay, in comes the Angel. There's the Daredevil. There's Thriving Rats.
Well. It's a lot of value being presented for that incendiary sabotage. It looks...
There's a Wild Wanderer.
I can find an island, at least the first one, for the confiscation coup. But I wonder if he...
I mean, the sabotage is pretty rough here, right? You got to sacrifice your self-assembler.
And it also would kill your...
It's going to kill your brawler,
yeah.
yeah. And it's not going to kill his Angel.
Yeah, that's a big problem, but... I mean, look at the board of Andrei Strasky just growing a lot. What can you do?
And that Daredevil's going to come in next turn again.
I mean, Danny can just try to hope to race in one way. Just play the sabotage, sacrifice the self-assembler, sweep the board for everything except one of his own self-assemblers and the Angel, and try to swing. He's the one who has initiative. Like, if both players at 16 and he's the one that it is his turn, he can definitely try to win the race because Andre only has 2 cards left. But problem is, if Andre has an artifact in hand, he can bring back the Daredevil, and then his whole plan that just fizzles.
Yeah, you can see him looking at the incendiary sabotage. Right, if he could find like Prophetic Prism into Island,
yeah,
it'd be pretty interesting because at the end of the turn he could sabotage. Well, he's going to sabotage right now.
Yeah, it would have been really sweet if he had a cheap artifact to sacrifice and would keep both self-assemblers.
And then gets in for 4, like you said, with the initiative. Does it on his turn.
Yeah.
Strasky drops to 12.
Yeah, maybe Strasky was setting up for an Inspired Charge or something. The one card that Danny wants to avoid, like the plague here, is the Sword of Light and Shadow. It would just end the race.
Yes.
The very moment it would enter the battlefield.
Well, as it is, it looks like he has a little bit of gas in his tank here for the race. He's got a Snare Thopter in hand.
That's pretty good too. It's not a 2-turn clock, still a 3-turn clock, but we know that Danny doesn't have much going on. More Daredevils as well. Yeah, I think Andre did have a Inspired Charge there, so it's a good thing Danny did go for the sweep there, even though the sabotage is an instant. But
yeah. So here comes the Snare Thopter. Attack for 7. Drops Danny to 9.
Danny drews an island.
Oh.
So he can find the second one with the Wanderer.
Gets in, drops Andre to 8 with his attack. Right, here's the Wild Wanderer. Goes and gets an island.
He's so close too. His attackers are like 7.
Yeah, the problem is they're both going to be tapped next turn. So even if he confiscation coups 1,
that's the thing.
It's not going to be enough. He needs to find an answer to 1 and steal 1.
Yeah. Yeah. Also,
but the Inspired Charge. Attack with the 2 flyers, cast Inspired Charge. Yeah. And that is the win for Andrei Strasky. He wins the set, and his team wins the match. That's 2 wins for Strasky, 2 wins for Paulo Vitor Damadurosa. Shahar Shanhar is still in game 2 somewhere. All right, but we'll keep an eye on this for a little while.
I wanted to see Shahar's deck, and so far it's delivering. I mean, I only see 1 Veteran Motorist and 1 DePaulo in play, but there's also Spireside Infiltrator, and I think...
Oh, and he's look at the daggers there. He's got the... we talked about that. He's got the revoked privileges on the Fretwork Colony.
Yeah, It looked like at the start Emil Lundman had the initiative, but look at he also has one more in hand, the rogue privileges.
And there's a and there is a renegade freighter with a long line of people looking to do ride sharing.
No,
here.
me. I want to get on the train, says veteran motorist and Spireside infiltrator, and DePaula.
So that's the sweep there for the team.
The perfect sweep. I mean, their decks look great.
2-0, 2-0, yeah.
Yeah.
Like we said, swords.
How did they
blades,
lose a match?
Daggers.
Yeah, awesome. But we got something sweet as well. So
excellent.
Our second feature match is between a Dutch team. You might know Jan van der Vecht and Matthias Kress. They're both streamers. Dan Pride is one of their friends. And also has a GP top 8. And they're bringing the Spanish team. And we wanted to show you this one because both teams are 5-1, which is, decent in its own right. But Matthias Kress has a sweet deck. And I don't want to spoil too much.
Okay.
I just hope we see it in action.
I see a hallmark card of this sweet deck.
Consulate Skygate?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It is a herald of the sweet deck.
Yeah, you could have woken me up at 3 a.m. in the morning and you asked me, sweet deck for a combo, a sweet card for a combo deck. Consulate Skygate, Brian.
It just buys you all the time you need. It blocks, it has reach.
You don't need to sell it to me. I'm sold already.
Some people at home may not have played with it.
Yeah. It's a good card in the defensive deck.
But Aniol Alcaraz here, he has the Fire Weaver.
Yeah, Reckless Fire Weaver. It's nice.
He's got 2 of them.
Woo.
So he's going to be able to go to work on Matthias Kress's life total here, just playing artifacts.
Yeah, no, doesn't need to attack into the Skygate. Good for him. He has. Oh, there's a Filigree Familiar. A decent blocker, gain some life.
Okay.
Because I think Matthias might be setting up for something in this match. Now, our European watchers might be familiar with Aniol. He actually has 3 GP top 8s in Europe, including a win in Vienna 2014. And Ricard Tuduri also has 2 GP top 8s, but one of them was in 2000.
Wow.
16 years ago.
I'm telling you, that's the great thing about team format. You're like, come on, I know you haven't played in a while. Let's go.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Be awesome. Okay, attacks with the 2 Fire Weavers. Block from Matthias. And here is Chief of the Foundry. Did he miss his triggers there?
Might have been. All right. Here we go.
Oh, my God.
Ether Flux Reservoir, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, my God.
It's starting. And you know what else I saw in Matthias's hand?
No.
Aviary Mechanic.
Oh, I am in love. So whenever you play a spell, you gain 1 life for each spell you've cast this turn.
Okay.
With Aetherflux Reservoir. And then if you pay 50 life, Aetherflux Reservoir deals 50 damage to target creature or player. I want to see the situation where you need to do 50 to a creature.
But look at that. It's Aniol is playing what seems like a mono red deck that based with artifacts. He has some nice interactions with his creatures. He just played an Iron League Steed and ping for 4 damage because he also made a server. Also has the Chief of the Foundry. He's really putting on the pressure here. But like Matthias will be able to play spells, gain some life back. As long as he keeps developing his board, he should be fine.
He just needs more Skygates.
Yeah. He just needs more lands. There's a land. I think he has a Revoke Privileges. Maybe an Impeccable Timing.
Does he have 2 Aviary Mechanics?
Yeah, he does.
Yes, he does.
And that's the combo, ladies and gentlemen. 2 Aviary Mechanics bouncing each other.
There's not a lot of mana sinks in this format. That's a pretty good one.
That's a very good one, yeah. If it's not broken up. Yeah, look at Matthias even like the cheeky. Yeah, I'll swing. Because he wants to play the mechanic and replay the familiar. And that's going to give him 1 life for the mechanic, then Filigree from 2 more, and then 2 more from the ability.
So he's going back up to 19.
Yeah, he's back up to 20 already. Remember, Aetherflux Reservoir says whenever you cast a spell, you gain 1 life for each spell you've cast this turn.
Right.
So the first spell is 1 life, second is 2, 3, and so on. Yeah. So I think he took damage. Yep. Gain 1. Return him familiar.
Oh,
Play
yeah?
it. Gain 2, up to 20.
Wow, look at this. I'd like to start
I
the
love
game
it.
over at 20.
I love it.
Impeccable timing. Revoke privileges, and another aviary mechanic.
Man, he still has the removal in hand. That's the cool bit. Anil also looks to have a sweet deck.
But yeah, by the way,
Yeah, just completely like missing it, but his deck looks sweet. I'll check if it's a fully mono red. No, he has some islands, but he's 12 mountain, 5 islands. So I assume there's gonna be maybe like a Virtuoso. No. Oh jeez, his deck's sweet.
okay, what's he doing?
He has 3 self-assemblers.
Okay.
One in the sideboard as well, because he didn't want to fit all 4 in. He has some Wealth Mon. He also has a Whirler Maker, so he can really make those Fire Weavers really good. So his late games also seems fairly interesting, and now a Quicksmith Genius to get him to those cards.
Yeah, and the Filigree Familiar traded with a Servo.
Yeah.
Drew a card for Matthias.
Yeah, but he is also, I see something you'd like. I think it's a fabrication module.
Oh boy. Do you have ways to gain energy in this deck?
He might. Okay.
Oh, it's a decoction module.
Okay, never mind. Decoction module. Gain life. Revoke privileges. He also has a multicolored card in his hand, but I can't quite make it out what it is.
And he's going to put revoke privileges
Gain 2 more.
on the steed. And look how considerate he is. Look where he put the revoke privileges.
Yeah.
Under the card.
Unlike Paolo, the animal, the savage. Okay. Yeah, Mattia, you'll love this. Matthias not only has a blue-white deck with he's also splashing black for Restoration Gearsmith. He also has a Cloud Blazers in his deck.
Oh my gosh.
He has double Filigree Familiar.
Yeah, I thought that was a Restoration Gearsmith that was lurking in
Yeah,
his
that's
hand.
probably that card, yeah. Also has a Prophetic Prism. His deck looks sweet.
All right. Aniol has found an island. Gearsmith.
And he's swinging again.
What artifact did he? Oh, he played the the construct there, which let him loot.
He's pushing through damage every turn, and there's only so much that Matthias can do. Trying to hold off the onslaught. Let's see if he's gonna try to go something fancy here. Okay, so he's going for it. So.
Plays it, gets an energy, by the way.
So he's going to return the other Aviary Mechanic to his hand. He's storming off, guys. He's storming off. If there's any Jan van der Vecht fans there, they know that Storm is something that Jan really likes to do. So they were like, yeah, let's do it.
Ring the bell.
Yeah, get some energy as well. So I don't think he's going to replay the mechanic here. I think he's gonna want to leave up 2 mana for the impeccable timing. And look, the cool part about this, the decoction module also allows him to bring back the Aviary mechanic and start the loop again. Yeah, he's up to 23, and like Aniol has been pushing through a lot of damage.
By the way, Aniol has a Whirler Maker now.
Yeah.
So this is these are 2 decks that were destined to collide with each other.
Yeah. So Wellfest Monitor.
That's the second Wellfest Monitor, right? Is that the other? The other one is below? Yeah.
I don't know what that card is above it.
Yeah, it's a second Wellfest Monitor.
Okay.
That's what he played last turn.
Yeah, it's a tough creature to deal with. Sometimes, yeah, you're right. Okay. Well, let's see. Matthias really wants to deal with the Chief of the Foundry. Okay, there's the Whirler Maker.
There's the Whirler Maker.
Take 2. That's a combo and a half. All right, so.
Attack with everybody. So So right off the bat, please let me kill your Chief of the Foundry.
Finally, I'll gain life.
And would you consider killing a Reckless Fire Weaver here?
No, I don't think so. The question if Matthias...
I guess it's a question of him making 2/2 flyers every turn
Yeah.
versus pinging for 2 every time a flyer comes into play.
Exactly. So he just does the conservative block, takes 4 from the Quicksmith and 1 of the Fire Weavers, but he just wants to develop his mana. Now gets a Prophetic Prison. So he does it. He can buy back the Familiar with the Gearsmith as well, and playing a 3/3 is probably the most relevant part. Yeah, Prison, gain a life, get a land. That's sweet as well.
That's sweet.
And Restoration Gearsmith with the Decoction module.
Yes.
Just bring it back.
I am in.
His deck is hilarious.
I heart Matthias Kress.
Yeah, that's for sure.
All
Matthias
right,
NL. Yeah, gain 2 life. Get a 3/3. Bring back my Filigree Familiar. Get more energy. And Anio's slowly getting out of gas. I mean, at least he'll get to make a top tier every turn. But he's going to need a lot of turns until he gets a big enough board to really make a dent into Matthias' life total.
But he does get to loot every time he makes a Thopter.
Yeah.
With the Quicksmith, the genius. In fact, he's going to do that right now. He's like, I drew a land. I don't want this.
Yeah. Now he's going to loot as well with the Quicksmith Genius. That's sweet. He better not deck himself, though.
That is a very real possibility. We've seen it happen multiple times.
Yeah. You might laugh at the suggestion, but it's happened. I've seen it happen twice already. And just people drawing a lot of cards in this format. Yeah, his Wealth-Fest monitors are still fairly decent. He tapped out in a way where he can't give both of them menace. And I wonder if Matthias actually wants to trade off his creatures there. Yeah, he's gonna go and try to kill one of the Gearsmiths. Oh, gonna trade off the Aviary Mechanic.
Wow.
But you know what? He can just, on his turn, play an Aviary Mechanic, bounce the Restoration Gearsmith, play
That's
it,
true.
return the other Aviary.
Absolutely.
His deck's the sweetest. I mean, I don't like dirtling too much, but I really like the way
How
Matthias does it.
dare you? This is not dirtling.
To be honest, I quite like Anil Alcaraz's deck. It's also fairly cool.
Yes, absolutely. Plays his land. All right.
Sky Wheelish on. That's good. It's very good. Because he can finally get rid of more of those 3 power blockers. And a cheeky attack as well, because we know what's coming. Aviary Mechanic. Gain a life.
Gain a life. Go back to 14.
I wonder what he's going to do with all that energy.
I wonder if he has a payoff.
Gearsmith.
Does he have like an Aether Squall Ancient?
I don't think so. I can look it up, but I just want to be, sitting here enjoying my time watching Matthias NL popping off with his Ether Fox Reservoir deck. He's already gained so much life through that card.
Okay.
More top thirds.
Makes another Thopter. Pings for 1. Loots. They've drawn another land.
Okay.
Finds a self-assembler.
He has 3 of those. So he can loot some more. He can deal some damage and finally get a big creature on the board. And that's going to be the problem for Matthias. Handling all those self-assemblers. An army of 4/4 is going to be hard to deal with.
Now he's going to give his Wealth-Fest monitor fear. Nope. He's just going to attack with the 1 flyer. He's like, oh, yeah, it has reach. Got it.
Just checking if he remembers.
It's a legitimate check.
Yeah, of course. There's nothing to lose from that attack, basically. Ooh.
Oh, my gosh. Come on.
It's happening.
Here comes a Cloud Blazer.
Oh, no.
I'll gain 3 life.
Oh, no.
Draw 2 cards.
It's really happening. He's going for those lands. Oh, jeez. Okay, lands are good. Experimental Aviator as well.
Now he's going to play
The familiar.
Filigree Familiar.
Gain 4 life.
Yep. Goes back up to 22. All right, this is the sweetest deck I've ever seen in a limited match.
And that's coming from you.
Yes. This is absolutely sweet. And if at any point he has to overcommit to the board, he still has the decoction module to
Exactly.
reset it.
Yeah, he can just keep bouncing. He just wants to keep drawing lands here.
Oh, well, there's Chandra's Pyrohelix.
I mean, he'll probably have to kill the Cloud Blazer as long as Matthias is tapped out, because once that gets rolling with the mechanics and modules. But the thing is, Matthias can always bounce his Gearsmith, return the Cloud Blazer. What the heck? This is the ultimate grind fest.
He's like, I don't even want to attack.
Yeah.
He's like, he blocks and blocks. It's like you do that, and you get to do 1 point of damage.
Yeah. No, at this point, I think
Matthias.
Alcaraz just has to start playing the self-assemblers, just because they're
I'm with you.
much bigger threat to the board.
Ping you for 1. Go look for my self-assembler. Chose not to loot with the Quicksmith Genius. Didn't want to give up the Pyrohelix.
I mean, are we getting anywhere here? I think I know it's just waiting on some value here, but
okay, in comes Cloud Blazer.
he's like, yeah, I'll just attack. Yeah, he just drew a land, and he's happy about that. He can play the Aviator now.
Yep. Plays the Aviator. Gains a life. Gets 3 Thopters. He's going super wide here. 10 energy. For whatever good that does him.
Yeah, I wonder, like, does he have Aetherworks Mountain? Okay, I'm going to look at his deck list now. I can't wait anymore.
Replays Aviary Mechanic. Gains 2 life. Picks up Aviary Mechanic. Plays Aviary Mechanic. Gains 3 life.
He's popping off, I'm telling you.
And he picks up his Aviary Mechanic. He can do that a few times next turn.
Yeah. Yeah, his deck is just sweetness personified.
Okay. So, Aviary Mechanic gets killed with the Pyrohelix before it can get picked up.
I don't think it matters. Like,
but we know that he can just start it all over with the Gearsmith next turn.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, like, how he could have put in so much sweetness. You can only have 40 cards in a deck.
That's not true. You can have more.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure he built a 40-card deck, but
But you've never had a deck with so many sweet cards that you couldn't get it down to 40?
Funnily enough, he has an Inventor's Fair in his sideboard that he's not playing because he's a 3-color deck already. That would be also sweet that he can find the reservoir whenever he needed. Yeah, but his deck looks sweet. He also has a Perpetual Timepiece in his sideboard. If he would be worried about decking himself in a matchup, like finding a more grind deck would be hard though.
All right, so Filigree Familiar, 2 Thopters, get in the way of Self-Assembler and trade.
Oh, look at that. Another the 3rd Aviary Mechanic.
Oh my god, I didn't realize he had more than 2.
Yeah, he had 3.
Oh my gosh.
More lands. Yeah, there's a swamp. Very nice. Just more lands. He just wants to...
So how much life can he gain just on Aviary Mechanic nonsense this
So
turn?
he can play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times. So he can gain, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 life. So that's 9, 12, 15.
So he can gain 15 life a turn here.
Yes.
We
Correct.
can see him do 50.
Yes. Yes. And now I know it might be like, oh, you got to be kidding me. I think he should rebuy the Gearsmith though. Yeah,
He is going to rebuy the Gearsmith.
He just wants. He can pick up the 3rd Aviary Mechanic from his graveyard. And I didn't find many good uses for energy. He does a double ether theorist, which helps him dig
Sure.
and conserve his life total.
Gets a second energy die.
This is ridiculous.
Picks up Aviary Mechanic. Plays Aviary Mechanic.
Gains 3 now.
I believe so. Picks up Aviary Mechanic. Gains 4. So he's at 37 now? 36.
Now he's going to gain 4 more. I'll just wait for the graphics update. I lost track of the life totals.
It should be 36, I believe. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. If he doesn't do a point of damage to him, he could do 50 next turn.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Ennio. Be a good sport.
We knew it was coming.
Yeah.
This counts.
This absolutely counts as an Aetherflux Reservoir victory. 50 damage by Matthias. Next turn. Oh, my God. He was going to gain 15 life from those Aviary Mechanics. That was insane. What are you sideboard? What are you doing?
Yeah, right? Well, he has so many cyber options.
Look at these good cards that are just not in his deck. He doesn't have a Gear Seeker Serpent.
He has 2 in his deck. There's 3 total. Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Longfin Skywell. Yeah, that's not helping me win. I'm surprised he's not playing Gleness Crane, but he also doesn't play that many. Doesn't make that many artifacts. So we're just gonna go to see Jan van der Velde to do in their game 3.
Yeah, oddly enough, they had time to complete 2 whole games during that.
Well, I assume if one deck is so dirty, the other 2 have to be super aggressive. At least that's what I'm hoping for.
All right, Jan leads off with a Forest. If you don't remember Jan, if you don't know Jan from his streaming, you might remember him from the Mox a couple seasons ago.
Yeah. No, he's a super nice guy. He's from the Netherlands, so they're a bunch of local guys, and it's just a pleasure to be around with.
Long Tusk Cub from Ricard Chidori. But a Caterpillar Bug.
Ooh. Let's see if he finds a way through it. Not just Thriving Rhino. Well, as I say that, it gives you energy for the Long Tusk Cub anyway. He's not wasting any time. Jeez, that's...
Attacks with a 3/3 Cub, right? Using the 2 energy from the Thriving Rhino.
Yeah, these stars are just gross.
Yep.
I mean, turn 2 Long Tusk Cub on the play just always feels dirty.
It's so hard to beat.
Yeah, that's why so many pros rate it, and of course other players as well.
Second Pillar Bug.
Remember, Ricard still has 2 energy in his 2 energy at his disposal.
Attacks with both. Uses the 2 energy to make the Thriving Rhino a 3/4.
Now it's very tricky. Jan, the Pillar Bug deck. You're not always in great shape when you have the black-green Pillar Bug deck.
Double blocks the Cub. Is there something? Yes, it looks like a Welding Sparks.
Yeah, or an Appetite for the Natural. Yeah.
Okay, even better. Both players will gain 2 life here. A little better for Ricard. Jan van der Velde is up against it here.
Yeah, he's gonna have to rely on his dirtily blue-white deck from Matthias and his friend Dan in the middle seat. Try to do something.
All right, Tidy Conclusion takes down the Cub.
Yeah, finally.
But anytime you're using your 5-mana removal spell on a 2-drop,
yep,
tells you a little something about the 2-drop. In comes Thriving Rhino, gets him for 3. Jan's gonna fall to 13. And follows it up with a Pima Outrider, 4/4 Trampler.
That's good. Nothing from Jan. Maybe another Tidy Conclusion. Makes sense, but I'm quite surprised. Doesn't have any plays on turn 6 there.
Just a few cards in hand for him. Looks like 3 cards.
Ricard taking his time.
Talking to his teammates, it looks like, saying, here are my options. Okay, in they come. 4-4 and a 3-4.
At least one of Jan's cards is a land.
Post-combat, attune with Ether.
There we go. Yeah, I think Jan just flooded. I think he even mulliganed. He just has too few cards.
Why wouldn't you want to attune with Ether first and get up to a 4 on your Rhino?
Maybe he has some other plans.
Or he's just worried about sinking the extra energy in here,
Yeah.
worried about a removal spell?
Maybe. Okay, I think that's going to do it.
Spireside Infiltrator
Yeah.
shows him a handful of lands.
Yeah, just one spell. I don't even know what it was. I think it was Morbid Curiosity.
Was it really?
Yeah? Why are you acting surprised?
I've not seen that card played.
Oh, we've tried it in some decks. It's really good.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
You know when you're failing in your decks a bunch of Precata Pillar Bugs and Wild Wanderers, there's worse things than cashing them in for some new cards. No, seriously.
Okay. All right, well, Ricard Chidori gets the first set here in the match. He goes up 2-1. And hopefully we're going to go back to Aniel Alcaraz and Matthias Kress. Because I want to see more hot reservoir action.
I think those games last long enough. So I think we're up next. We have the Pedro Grati against Don Proit game 2.
Oh, fine.
And look at that. Marion Master, Angel of Invention. Like, we were bad-mouthing Jan for having the bad black-green deck to enable the sweet blue-white one. But it looks like the Spanish team gave a lot of power to Pedro. Like,
Right.
Also has Midnight Oil.
He has Midnight Oil. He's got his own personal Howling Mine here. He's going to
look
do 2 cards a turn.
Marion Master has goggles on it as well, so it's 5 power. It's 6 power with the Angel Event. I think I think Jan just finished this game, went to look over, like, oh, okay, Dan, are we winning this one? It's like, what? Are you kidding me? Look at this. He has this, he has that, and he has this. What am I supposed to do here? I really wanted to see these guys win with their crazy Etherfox Reservoir deck, but looks like they're facing off against some good decks in the other seats. Oh, it looks like maybe a judge call. There might be something with maybe a missed trigger or something similar. So
wait, so how big is this Marionette Master now?
So it's a 4/6 base, +1/+2 from the goggles. So it's a 5/8, 5/8, yeah. And then +1/+1 from the Angel Invention.
Well, is the Angel in play or is it under?
Oh, that's also possible.
Is it under the Warden?
We can tell by the color of the sleeves. Yes. Okay. All right. So Angel Invention is Dan's.
Okay.
No, it's not. It's just 5 power.
Oh, that's it. Okay, here we go.
Wispweaver Angel.
And a Propeller Pioneer. Oh my God. And an Ether Storm Rock in hand. His deck is spectacular.
Yeah, Pedro's deck is also quite solid. And look at those cute little combos, like having Cogwalker's Puzzle Knot alongside Marion Master. That's cute. And even though Dan has a huge Ballista Charger, I don't think he can win here, realistically speaking. There's just so many good cards. Yeah, especially if Pedro just plays the Wispweaver Angel and flickers the Marion Master.
Oh yeah.
He can just create 3 servo and still have a 2/5.
You see Pedro getting advice. I'd like you to
can
play
attack
the Ether Storm Rock.
Yeah, I think that's also pretty safe. Yeah. Dan's like, yeah, just play a card, please.
Well, you also don't want to. You have to play some stuff here. You don't want to get cards stuck in your hand. He's at 7.
Yeah.
So discarding to the Midnight Oil becomes
problematic.
Pretty risky.
Yeah, remember, Midnight Oil makes you draw an extra card at the beginning of the turn, but it It has some work with counters. So the number you see on that midnight owl is the maximum hand size
Right.
of Pedro. So now he can only have 3 cards in his hand.
And then whenever you discard a card, you lose a life.
Yeah, it's risky for the following turn because his hand size is going to go down to 1, and he'll have 4 cards at the start of the turn. So he'll have to try his best at discarding as many as possible.
Dan is at 14. A little bit of a slump in his posture there.
Yeah.
All right, revoke privileges on the Marionette Master.
That's not going to end well.
Yeah, that's going to get Wisp-Weaver angeled.
And remember, revoking its privilege doesn't mean it's it is still relevant. It says whenever an artifact dies, your opponent loses life equal to the number of counters on it.
All right, he crews up the Ballista Charger.
Okay.
Ballista Charger shoots the servo.
So that triggers the Master. So Dan takes 5 because the Marion Master has 5 power.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so...
Okay.
Chump block. Has to chump block with his Ether Storm Rock.
That Ballista Charger hits hard.
Yeah.
All right, Midnight Oil is going to drop to 1.
Oh, but he draws I think a land and a Toolcraft Exemplar, so it's perfect. Oh, he only has one. He only has 2 planes, so he has to decide if he wants to play the Propeller Pioneer and the Toolcraft Exemplar, or the Wisp-Weaver Angel on the land, and would have to discard 1, go down to 3, which is quite risky.
Too bad you can't Wisp-Weaver Angel your Midnight Oil.
You wish. I'm sure you would go to your hotel room tonight and try to do that on Magic Online, knowing you.
All right, you see him looking at the different things. So he's just really trying to decide, like you said, between deploying 2 cards here.
Yeah, he might go for the Angel.
He is going to go for the Angel.
It just gives more puts more creatures on the board. That's the thing. So the Master will get flickered, and I assume he's going to bring it back with some 1/1s.
Okay, gets 3 1/1s.
Yeah,
it's an Artificer, so it triggers the goggles.
Yeah. Yeah, and after he has to discard, so he's going to discard.
Goes to 3, which is a dangerous place to be.
Yeah. He should have he could have attacked with the Fairgrounds Warden to put down to 8 there. But at least it's because he has a lot of blockers still, but now Dan has to be very careful because shooting down the servos means he's taking 2 damage when the artifacts die. So, and he's not on 9, so it's slowly chipping away at his life total as well. And we know Pedro still has the Propeller Pioneer in his hand.
He's going to draw 2 more cards next turn. He's like, I'm so close. You can see Dan. He's just like, I feel like I'm so close to being able to win this.
Yeah.
Marionette Master, by the way, I feel like we've seen this in every other match.
Yeah, that card has been performing very, very well. It has been my MVP alongside the Oval Chase Daredevil. But Wisp-Weaver Angel also.
Often alongside them in the same deck we've
exactly.
seen.
Yeah, now Don explaining.
All right. Veteran Motorist gets inside the minivan.
Yeah, ping you. That's the plan is now.
Yes.
Ping you.
An attack with my 6/6.
I think Dan also has a backup plan. He has a pinger in his hand. The Etherborn Rogue.
Yes. Wow, look at this though.
Renegade, Ether Torch Renegade.
3 servos get in the way.
Yeah, that's basically representing 6 damage. So that's why Dan is not killing all of them. He just deals all 7 damage to one servo because he just doesn't want to take all of that damage. And there's the Ether Torch Renegade.
Get some energy. Well, a little bit away from being able to.
Little
bit.
Just needs something else that gives him energy.
All right.
Midnight Old, 2 cards. No maximum hand size. Rather a hand size of 0 now. So Pedro will have to discard down to.
Okay, so he's moving the goggles over to the Angel.
And he's swinging. Yeah.
And there's the hand from Dan Pruitt. Pedro Grati wins the set 2-0, and match goes to the Spanish team, Alcaraz, Grati, and Tudori over the Dutch team.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the Matthias and a sweet deck. He won with an Etherflux Reservoir.
I know I'd be a bad teammate, but if I won in my team, I'd be like, it's okay. I did 50.
Yeah. There was. I think Matthias, they're still playing. His team has. I think he's trying to pop again. Look, there's like a million left. Third life. Is he going off again?
There's revoke privileges on a self-assembler.
I think the problem is that I think there's a Restoration Gearsmith in the graveyard already. One Avian Mechanic also dead. So it looks like he's trying to find a way.
He's at 41 though. Self-assembler and Renegade Freighter.
Yeah, he needs Cloud Blazer. Let's go.
There's Cloud Blazer in his yard already.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, dang.
But he still gets to fly in for 2 with his Thopters.
Yeah, he has the impeccable timing. He can at least kill off the Renegade Freighter if that ever decides to attack.
So Renegade Freighter is going to attack.
Yeah, I think Anyo, at this point, he's playing for pride. He's like, I won't die to the Etherflux Reservoir deck twice. I'm going to kill it.
It's like, guys, we won. That's all right.
Yeah.
There's the Whirler Maker. So flying will suddenly start to work against Matthias here.
Yeah. He did kill the Freighter. It looks like both players are saying go at the same time.
All right, there's a Whirler Maker. There's a Thopter from it.
Yeah.
In comes the self-assembler. He's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, but Anyo has the engine now with Matthias having all the relevant cards dead. Matthias just needs Ether Theorist. It's a start. He might just hold off on it and try to gain more life, but yeah, I think they're just gonna Anyo did have a good win condition, like making the Thopter and paying for 1 and every turn expanding his board 1 by 1. It's certainly not bad, and it's just a shame we couldn't see Matthias Kress pop off with Etherflux Reservoir twice.
And then by the way, Anyo just flashes at him. He's like, "Look, I had an incendiary sabotage. I was gonna screw you up at some point if you were trying to do that." All right, but we're done here with round 7. 2 more rounds still to go.
Phew.
Hopefully we see some more reservoir action, but I don't know. It's not looking that likely. Anyway, from Matei, Brian David Marshall, we'll be back soon with more live Magic. Players are already getting seated for the next round.